Good morning, Yash. Thank you very much for coming down for another topic in the discussion that we have today.
Yeah, good morning. Vanakkam.
Vanakkam, vanakkam.
You've been learning Tamil with us along, so I'm
Right,
so
right.
grateful for that. And as always,
Uh,
I want to
and
invoke
I know one more thing, Ninga, no,
நீங்க
Ninga
நல்லா
எப்படி இருக்கா?
நீங்க நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா?
Ninga எப்படி இருக்கா?
நீங்க எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? Yes, I'm நான் நல்லா இருக்கேன்.
நல்ல இருக்கா. I love this experience of started learning the Tamil. Like a couple of more words I have started adapting in my natural language also. Uh, like uh, now I'm forgetting actually.
That's okay. But you
Tamil,
know,
yeah, Tamil Romba Sulabam.
oh, that's very good.
So it's not very Sulabam for me as of now, but yes, I started feeling like Tamil
It's
Romba
very
Sulabam.
easy,
Yeah.
like any other languages.
Right. So thank you very much for coming down for this another podcast. I'm quite excited to discuss the topic today. That is, we are discussing soul rebirth, soul return, soul renewal, whatever you people call it. And as far as my little understanding of the subject is, what I've and how I'm coming from this is, from the angles of the viewers or common people that wants to transform their lives. This entire concept is like for transformation of soul, transformation of life, getting new vibes in the life, like healing the past traumas, childhood traumas, maybe those who are struggling with their existential crisis, identity crisis. So from you, in this discussion, I want to understand this entire concept of soul rebirth and and the deeper meanings of it.
Yeah.
So over to you. Help us understand.
Yeah, sure. So as always, I like to invoke Shiva's presence so that our podcast goes well, and also his presence is always required. So I want to talk about or reveal one of my main, revelation or divine visitation that I had from Shiva himself. I have not discussed this in my previous podcast. I've only revealed about the presence of the light form, where he came as a ball of light in 2017. But now I really want to reveal that information before we go into the deeper subject of how, because this is all very connected based on my personal journey and what others would be experiencing as well. So in 2017, after the ball of light came through, uh, I, he actually made another divine play. On that day, there was no light at all. The light, as usual in India, always gets switched off in the night sometimes, and then it gets back. So there was no light at all, and I was actually lying down in my bed, and I felt, hands coming and tapping on me and on my back, which is actually the hands are actually going through my comforter. For a moment, I thought it's a thief, because who can come inside my home because it's all locked. And it went through my comforter, and it was a very loud tap on my back, and I was quite curious at the same time. I was quite shocked. I was wondering who is this. Then I asked, who is it? Then he says it's him. So I at that time, I when I turn around, there's nobody. But then out of the, I have a balcony outside my room door. So the door has a, opening and closing, which I have curtains for it. So through the curtains, I could see the light illuminated like those yellowish golden. When someone is at a higher ramp, you generally see their glow like this, right? In most of the pictures you see generally. So this is the glow that I started first seeing. The light came on, not our physical home light, but this light. That our home light was still off. So this golden light, yellowish light started coming on, Then I see this suddenly one figure walking on my balcony and just showing his presence. I mean, of course, he's not wearing a full, like the Shiva, all those clothings that we see in all the pictures. He came like the Siddhar would wear, light beige kind of, the one that shows off your skin. So he was generally tanned, and this was very, very shocking for me. At the same time, I was trying to grasp what was happening at that time. Who is this, and and the light just then went away. So I actually got up and went out to see if there's actually anyone standing there, but there was no one. So essentially he just showed me his presence. So the light went through my sliding door, through my curtain, and the light illuminated so much his figure is visible. So he's walking through that. He's essentially showing his presence. And this was a time that when I was going through a deep research into my own personal journey. And as I mentioned, I went out, there was nobody. It took me, quite a while. Is it a thief? Is it someone else who has come and things like that? Of course, he says it's him, but a lot of question goes through your thought process at that time. This is past. Generally I sleep very late in those days, and even now these days as well. So I could tell that I was not able to sleep, but at the same time thinking about what happened, and in the next morning I'm still digesting this information, what really happened that time. So this is a visitation that I wanted to mention, that he shows his presence to his devotees, just like in those days when devotees take a penance and they go through a long period of time. There are a lot of people actually question why Shiva doesn't come to me, or why Amman doesn't come to me, or goddess doesn't come to me. uh, but it's the way that we present ourselves to our divine, right? We have all they ask from us is actually dedication, our time. In my journey, I have to say I did not do any of those parikarma, that I have to do, go here, do this, go do this, tie this string on your hand. No, I didn't do any of those. I start to recognize all this was not really required. I just have to give my time for research, time for my meditation, time to illuminate myself, get awakened through this process that they are showing us, because they are always hand holding us through this journey, and we have to put ourselves at their feet and listen to them. What exactly did we come here for on this earth in this lifetime? Every person on this earth has come for a reason. So we have to tap into our divine self, which is our soul, and that soul has to be awakened. That is predominantly is dormant, in our physical form. So we have to awaken that atma, the soul, and from then onwards, we start to recognize that we did not just come to just eat, sleep, do all the physical responsibility, or go to work, earn a lot of money, go here, go there, travel here, do this thing, buy these things, buy that, accumulating wealth. No, not for that. We have come to show the way to others. Generally, this is the principle. The spiritual law requires that you dedicate time uh, each day to awaken your soul. And by doing so, through my journey, I realized that I wasn't here just to work in a corporate life. The corporate life was just a part of me, but the real part of me is to awaken the divine within me and bring back the person that I'm supposed to be, to become, you know. And that's Yashoda. And that's how Yash Foundation was born. And that's how I feel my soul has returned to the way it's supposed to have been when I was born. When I was born, uh, in my early years, I recognized that I always had a lot of intuition, premonition. I was able to tell certain things that I could recognize. Even before somebody would speak to me, I would know what they're going to say. How did those innate capability came about? At that time, we were very young, so we are not really, exposed to all the spiritual aspect of it. But slowly, gradually, I put a lot of effort on my own. With the basic meditation, I started to progress with my own meditation, giving it 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. It just goes on its own. Not that I'm pressing on to sit down for 1, 2 hours. It just goes on even for a couple of hours on certain days, on days when I'm not working, I'm referring to. And it just goes on, and it's not, everybody talk about, oh, I when you go into that state you get bliss, you get all of those things. No, we are talking about having to understand what is this concept all about, and why we came here for, and what is the mission of our soul on this earth. And that's how I start to recognize that Yash Foundation was my mission that I have come for, to help humanity progress into their spiritual awakening. Not just awakening, but also to heal, because we have also come to heal what we have done in the past. We have None of us understand truly what exactly our ancestors has performed, or conducted in terms of behavior, or things that could have taken place in those days, because we were not there, right? But we were part of it. We were one of them at that time. But when we come here on this earth as a baby, we forget all of that. But we have to go through the healing process so that we start to heal what was generational curses, generational issues, the blockages. This is what is in our DNA, that or lineage that we are carrying. So essentially we are lineage of our ancestors, right? We have to forgive whatever our ancestors have already done in the past. We cannot carry that forward. By forgiving, we are actually clearing all that path for the current generation, which is ourselves, and the future generations that are going to be living on this earth. So essentially, every one of us are a form of a healer, I would say. You know, either we are coming here to just teach someone about a specific task, or we are actually healing them from a soul perspective, either physical or a spiritual perspective. So when we heal, we close the chapter of the past generational curses, and then we start fresh from there, knowing who we are, knowing what is the purpose, life purpose that we have come here for, or the mission that we have come here for. So this is why I wanted to reveal Shiva's, visit that day to my home. I am still in awe today, even when I sit down and think. Even that Rishikesh incidents, every single day they are in my thought. Every single day, every single second, I always think how blessed I am that they have come for me, to tap on me, to remind me why I have come here for. And that is what is called the soul return. We are returning to who we are, and we are returning to our own lineage of who we were before and who we are now. You know, we are essentially going back to the same source where we came from, and the same lineage where we came from. This is essentially the background to this today's podcast.
So my simple question to you, and I'm drawing from this elaboration. When you say that the soul is always predetermined, dominantly, dormant, uh, then how it is, that that the same dormant soul is causing trouble to our, present life. Like if it is carrying generational issues, from previous life, and it is still dormant, then how it is possible to actually it, the same issue that is carrying, which is now dormant with it, are creating trouble for me.
Yeah. So, as always, meditation is the medicine for this whole awakening process. Contemplation, introspection. In the modern world, you can call it self reflection, self care. All these has to come into play. We have to give time to our own soul, our own atma. We have to sit in quietness, in calmness, and then reflecting on all those things that we have done till today. What are those good things we have done? We have to appreciate. What are those bad things we have done? We have to start knocking them out one by one in this present generation that we are living in. And then we look back into what our ancestors have performed or done in the past. We start the good things we carry with us because that's the thing that we want to bring with us. And the bad things from the ancestors, we don't practice them here. We have to knock them out one by one. And through meditation, we did couple of podcasts on surrendering. We
No, no,
also,
no, no. Let me just interrupt here. This is exactly what I'm asking you.
yeah,
That, for example, if you're saying that the good things or good deeds we are already carrying in our current
yes,
presence, and the bad things that they might have, performed, are actually again carrying in my soul.
mm,
But if this is predominantly dormant, why it is hindering my current progress, my conscious level, my emotional issues. Something which is my concern is my point is, I'm curious about something which is dormant. How it can hinder me, before we proceed to solutions.
yes, yes. Yeah, sorry, I maybe have taken you on the solution part immediately, but yes. So essentially, when you are talking about your soul being dormant, uh, there are curses always. That's why when we the words that we speak is very powerful. We should always speak only positive words. So in those days, if someone puts a curse on a family, it happens. That's because our words are very powerful. Because the word has shakti, the word has wisdom, the word has knowledge. It knows how to permeate into the energy field that is surrounding us, right? We are all energy field. Our aura is all fully energy, and especially the entire being is energy because we are made up of five elements, right? And every curse that is on our family generation is being carried on, and that's why that soul gets hindered from whatever that individual wants to pursue or break free from those curses or issues. That's why we are doing, we have to go through that healing process. So the curse remains until you break it. You have to cut the cord from that curses. Just like before our podcast, we spoke about the Tanjavur temple. There is a curse that has been established in that temple, right? So I don't want to go into that detail, but just to give an example, you want to become someone in your life, but what is it that you're not able to achieve? Although you have put in a lot of your effort, even though you have gone to so many astrologers, they say you can do it. Why those things are not happening to you? So when you do introspection on those, actually it all goes back to our lineage. Our lineage, what has happened in those days is what we carry with us. And that's why the soul remains dormant until we actually tap on that soul. So that's why the soul return is so important. I hope I briefly gave you the answer. The lineage curses has to be cut off. We have to break free from it. We have to
Right, right.
identify what is the issue also. What is the, it may not necessarily be just a curse, it could be something else as well, right? Negative spirits are always around us. That is a very huge, all my clients come with a lot of these problems. When they come, the first day, even the negative spirit will just run away because it knows the true souls, right? When it knows the true soul, they cannot disturb us. And those negative spirit will continue to hinder your progress all the time. So there are many aspects to it. So that's why that introspections are so important. What exactly? Because we don't give time to what is surrounding us, you know. And also accumulation of a lot of things in our home is also not good. We should always keep our home clean. We should also keep our home quite as minimal as possible, not with so many heavy things, because there should be an energy flow in your home. The flow should be free flow. It should not, the energy should not get stuck in a place. Yeah. So we have to clear out, by doing many things, by clearing the space, clearing what we do also within, what we eat, who our friends circle, who our relatives circle are, the business circle, are they, aligned with our mission, or are they not aligned? There's no pretense in this alignment, right? It has to be true alignment. So there are many aspects to it.
So I draw from this elaboration that somewhere you said it also can help us. The soul transformation can also help us with the finding the life purpose of ours. So I'll come to that. That is one of my question also for you. But before coming to that question, first I want to go into the sufferings. Like the physical sufferings. People carry long you know, long-standing diseases in their life. People carrying the depression issues that has caused by the families mostly, or by their circumstances, or by their emotional traumas that they may have accumulated in this life itself. You know? So, how the soul, reworking practices can actually heal those issues, and how this is kind of a reflection of the karmic burdens from previous lives. We can elaborate on that.
See, when a person gets sick, first of all, what was the issue for getting sick? They have to do introspection, right? People don't do introspection. They just straight away go to the hospital, see a doctor, get the medicine, and then try to see whether they will heal. If not, again to go again, get more medicine, go take in again, right? I'm not saying we shouldn't visit hospital. Yes, if there is a major, problems, we should. But what I'm saying is, why do we suffer? Why do we fall sick? What is the issue behind it? Nobody spends time because they are too busy with their family responsibility, because they say they are too busy with the work, because they are chasing after the paper money. To me, money is paper. Because they chase after that, they never worry about their own health. The first thing that we as an individual have to do is to, you know, have self care. Without having self care, definitely sickness will come along. So when we get sick, we have to understand what is the issue behind it. Definitely, most of the issues come from stress, anxiety, depression. Depression because of another kind of issue, right? Because already an existing issue is existing. That's why they get into depression. Then there is some psychological aspect of it. Behavioral issues come out. People get angry. They scold other people, but not take responsibility or accountability for their own life. Nobody should blame anyone. Everybody should take accountability for their own life. Even if you born into a family, you must take accountability on your own life. You cannot blame your parents, you cannot blame your siblings, you can only blame yourself. However, when I talk about blaming, in the sense that you, once you recognize this, that you are accountable for your own life, you have to have compassion on your own self. Only then you start to build on those points, that these are the things that are causing me my illness, and this is what I have to detach from going forward. The illness can be heart disease, the illness can be diabetic, it can be liver, it can be something affecting your leg, or it can be to do with your relationship with your siblings, with your spouse, your partner, your parents, anything, your colleagues, your friends, your circles. Be it any one of this, you have to detach from all these drama, which I call drama, and then we start to list down what are those that are disturbing our energy circle around us, because these are all energy based, that is affecting our aura, and therefore we are falling sick all the time. So it's always better, if someone is lonely, it doesn't mean that person doesn't have any friends. The person is very, very comfortable with that, with themselves, and they are not giving away their energy to anyone, because they know that their energy has power. We are the ones who always go out and do these things and be around 100 people, 1,000 people, millions of people. No, when we do that, we are giving away our energy. We need to retract back our energy and keep our energy for the purpose of goodness, for humanity, for your family, for the goodness, I would say, right? Overall.
So, so let's say when everyone, as you said prior to this conversation, that everyone is carrying some sort of karmic, whether we call it karmic withdrawals, from their previous lives, and the soul transformation, with soul transformation practices like meditation and healing practices, everyone can actually figure out their own soul purpose of their life. And so how how can it be achieved? Like it will be very difficult, for everyone to go through this entire process of soul transformation. So, are there any easy way to actually, that people can do? Like, for example, if what I believe is, not if not everyone can sit 1 hour in meditation every day. What they can do is at least be mindfully offer a prayer to God every morning and every evening for 30 minutes. That's their part of it, their bit of meditation. If for that 30 minutes they're not thinking anything else, they are 30 minutes in meditation. Right? That's an easy way of meditating. That I believe. That's how I see it. So, are there any easy way to like heal the soul, uh, like refine, repositioning the soul's objective? If it is, how it can be done for every individual out there. Those who can see this podcast and just go and apply.
Yeah. See, everyone wants easy way out, that's for sure. But our divine doesn't do anything for free or anything for easy way out. Honestly, because I know I have gone through, and I think they have given away too much of their willingness to help everyone. But when it comes to the time that they should be respected and they should be remembered, they don't remember. They forget. So So there is, I mean, this is, I want to put forward to all the listeners, because this is so important that you have to remember them every morning when you wake up and do your 20 minutes, even if you don't have that 1 hour time. We are not saying you have to do 1 hour. Even your meditation can be just
No,
10.
this is also how humans are by nature.
Yes.
Like we cannot expect everyone to chase the heights of life, but at least even those from our history, from our ancestry, uh, the superior intellectual brains have designed the smaller things for the entire world to follow in their everyday life,
Yeah.
because they knew that they cannot achieve that sort of spiritual wisdom. So in that aspect, I'm asking, what are the easy ways?
Okay, sure. See, the design of this world is that we remember Mother's Day only once a year, Father's Day once a year, Women's Day also is once a year, right? And Ancestor Day is also been designed to be only once a year. It comes somewhere sometime in September, I believe so, in the calendars. And some of them do it once a month according to the Panjangam or calendars. But it doesn't have to be only that once a year. You have to give gratitude to them. So the best way is to give gratitude to them every single day. That is the best way, fastest way that you can progress in your spiritual progress. We don't have to wait for one day to say thank you, Amma, thank you, Appa. Or
That's a good thing. That's a good
yes,
one.
yes,
You're saying that at least if you offer the gratitude every day, that can
yes.
be one thing.
Yes, it's not a Western concept. The concept of Dharma is we have to be appreciative of what we have on our table, give gratitude to for the weather that we have, the food that we put on the table, the plant that are growing in our garden, the flourishing agriculture. It has to be every day. It has to be practiced, and doesn't have to be only on those one single day. So the design of the Western world that has been put into us is to remember only once a year. We have to break away from that and give gratitude every single day, every single second, even if you can. Even if you're riding a bike, you can remember your ancestor, because they are going to take you home safely all the way back, you know, and bring you to work and bring you back to home. So it doesn't have to be in a position where we sit down and just remember them. It can be anytime. You can be anywhere in this world. Even if you're just preparing for a meeting, just that 1 minute of gratitude makes a lot of the change in the energy field completely. you know so this is what I would suggest, like for a starter who can't sit down for 20 minutes, give gratitude to your ancestors, to your lineage, and remember all of them, even if you don't know their names, because there is not enough information. Just mention your lineage and just say that you thank them for all that they have done, whatever things that they have not done properly. You just ask for forgiveness. It's a very small 5 minutes thing. And if even if you can't give 5 minutes, then what is the purpose of us being here? We have to ask ourselves that, because that is not what we have come. That is not dharma. Dharma means you live by virtue, by moral. You live by all the expectations of whatever the dharma has been established, which is actually the spiritual law, right? And that spiritual law requires that you actually acknowledge every single thing that exists around you. That five elements that is made up of us also has to be acknowledged. It is, I know that it is not very simple, but it is possible when we make that time in the morning. I used to be like just like all of you before, just getting up early in the morning, getting ready, going, catching the train, catching the bus, driving to work, and traveling the world, going for client meetings and all of that. Yeah, I've done all of that, but I still gave my that morning time to my divine, and to the divine within me. Yeah. So that really changed my life, actually. Even if you don't have time, whenever you feel, even if you can't go to temple, just remember. Remembering is knowing who we are. Just remembering alone tells us who we are already. Yeah.
So when you talk about the purpose of life also, and the karma, you know, so I always believe there are two types of people in this world. The first one who are digging the hole and then pouring the sand back into it, digging the hole and covering it back. They're digging the hole and covering it back. And then there are second type of people, those who actually stop somewhere down the line and ask why I'm digging the hole and again covering it up. Uh, and then there are third type of people also in there, which who do not dig their hole at all, but they are sitting sideline and they keep asking themselves, the spiritual thinkers, the brainstormers, that why this guy is digging the hole and why this guy is stopping and asking you, what is the purpose of digging the hole. So who is actually doing the real karma? Which is the real karma? The one who's digging the hole and pouring it back without thinking mindlessly, or the one who was digging the hole, pouring it back, but stopped and asked himself, "Why I'm digging the hole?" Or the third one who's neither digging the hole nor asking, he's just using his brain to understand if he should dig the hole or not, or who is actually the third category. So, which type of karma is the real karma that we carry to the next? What actually falls into the karma?
Okay. So all three doesn't fall. All three carries the karma. I'll tell you what. The one who digs and falls into the pit hole,
The poor girl,
yeah,
it takes sand out and then it fills it back.
then he puts it back. Yeah, but he didn't finish the job. He just puts it back there. But he didn't follow up and
No, when I'm saying this, I'm representing everyone who's like going in the job or business every day
yes.
and keep earning so that they can eat and then again give more money back so that they
Yeah.
keep earning so that they can eat. So it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's a
We don't
cycle.
want to stop and pause. That is the category that I'm referring to with
So
this.
that's why the pause is
So
required.
they are in their own mind. They are living a purpose of they're feeling their, like putting the food on the table. So,
Yeah.
but they're in their own world.
Yeah, in their own family world that they feel
Correct,
that
correct.
they have to provide for the family.
Yeah,
So essentially, they carry that karma because they haven't cleansed what they came here for. Every soul is coming onto the earth because they have to cleanse the karma. You have to identify what is that karma that you are carrying. It can be even in this current generation plus the one before because it's a lineage. Whatever hole he digs or whatever he puts it back or whatever he's sitting on the fence thinking that whether and pausing and asking, but if it doesn't cleanse and then move to the next portion, his karma still continues to be there. He's just an observer, right? The other two the number two is just providing because he feels it's a responsibility, but he never cleansed his karma. The first one, he digs and then he closes it, but he never still doesn't know what is his karma. You have to know what is your karma, why you came here for. That question has to continuously be asked inside of us. That question is very simple. I mean, question is, who am I? Right? What is my karma? What am I? Why am I going through this cycle every 7 years, every 10 years? If you realize everybody would be going through the same 7, 9 years, 10 years cycle, yeah, The- according to the cycle. So you can see that I don't want to bring astrology here because to me my astrology is at the feet of Shiva and Aman or goddess. So to me my astrology is at their feet because I realize that my astrology is being told by somebody that I have to become or do something like this. No, I came here for this purpose. So I had to clear my past karma, my past generational um, issues. And then I start this journey new and fresh. And then everything is totally. See, of course, all of us will go through all the challenges because the world is like that. You know, just because we are not reaching here doesn't mean that, it doesn't have to be in a wealth perspective. you know uh, Everything doesn't have to tie back to a wealth. That we have to first come to an understanding. Wealth is not a status. Health is status. Only when you have health you have wealth. Yeah, so it's health first. And our soul, my soul is feeling great today. If I can say that confidently, then I have achieved the status what I came here for. Today I can say my soul is happy, my soul is great. I am happy that Yash Foundation has been established for what I came here for. Who I have become, who am I, well, soon the world will know. So this is what I have come. But the three other people, one observer sitting on the fence, the one putting on the food on the table, and the one digging the hole and putting it back, but patching it only, but not finishing or understanding what his karma is, has not achieved any level of understanding of his own soul life path. He's just following the today's trend. Everybody, if you see all the marketing trends today is all about go earn 1 crore, become a crorepati. So everybody is following that trend. They none of them is none of them are reflecting to see what actually all this trend is all about. That trend is actually taking away our soul from the real life purpose. That is for sure. I want to put this on the table because this trend has been happening for, you can see from the 80s onwards, the trend has become that way, that you have to earn money. Only then you get respected by the community. Only if you have money you are respected. Only you have money your relatives come to you. Only if you have money your friends come to you. If you have no money nobody respects you. Is money priority? No. My soul is priority. Yes, I need money for me to put food on the table, but other than that money is my secondary, it's not primary. I know money is secondary, is my soul is primary. So only when you switch the perspective, then things start moving in a different direction, in a direction that you always have to become who you are.
So how many types of souls like everyone carries, or maybe what type of souls are present on the earth, or during the generations, and when they appear actually.
They appear at the time when things are going in a bad direction, right? Every soul comes in because they know that people need help at that point in time. There are souls that come in because they want to cleanse themselves. That apart from that, they also come in because they know that things are going in a bad direction on this world. I'm sure you know a lot of issues about deep issues, society issue is going on today. Nobody is even spending enough time to really. They just read the news and then they just move on to the next thing. They just scroll, right? Anybody going through the Instagram, they just scroll. You know, they just, oh, okay, this is happening. But is anybody taking any action on it? No. They're expecting the government to do everything. There is no, like those days in those past, when our ancestors lived, there's always a community. The community helps that family go, get out of the situation. And if you take, for example, I want to go a little bit on the village deity also, if you don't mind, because In those past days, in the village, generally the women has been abused, women has been, treated badly. So most of the women take on the character of the goddess and come back to solve people's problems. And they have been revered in the village as Kuladevi, or the goddess of that village. And generally the male god or kuladeva is generally the one taking care of the surrounding of the village. But if you see, it's the women is always the one that is given the higher status of reverence by the village people, because she has taken a penance, or she has taken a, she has probably taken a sati, just like how Shiva Shakti that time. The same story, every single village girls have undergone this situation, and they have become the powerful goddess, and they come back to solve people's problem. But I think people don't recognize this, more towards this. They just go and ask the god, solve this problem for me. But if you step back, women has played a very vital role in those ancestral, past generations. And we have to start recognizing and giving respect to women also. We don't have to respect only on Women's International Day, March 8th. Women need to be respected every single moment, every single time. March 8th is not the only day a woman should be recognized. If you really go through all the village deity stories, you'll be very surprised at how they were treated, how they suddenly became the goddess. Why did she take that form? And how did she receive those tools that she has in her hands to take charge of people's life going forward? It is a huge, deep, retrospective information that everybody has to pay attention to. And I wanted to bring this a little bit, and maybe we can go more deeper into the next podcast on this village deity, stories, because it
Sure,
has.
we can cover that into a different
Yes,
podcast.
yes.
To deep dive into the subject. Yes.
So to answer your question, the karmas, doesn't get just dissolved just like that because he or she has just said, "Oh God, please forgive me." What have you done? Why did you do it? Even if you see in current generation, some people start to recognize just before death, they ask for forgiveness. But that's too late. That's too late, right? Why in the last how many years that they were in the family, they didn't ask for forgiveness? In the last time they are expecting that their soul be given the moksha. Will they get the moksha at that time? No. They have to go through that. They have to come back again and learn their lesson. Shiva
Okay.
Shakti.
Last question I want to draw from. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. Last question I want to draw from this part only. Why people seek moksha?
Why people seek moksha? Because
At the end of the life, when you say at the end of the life, they are actually expecting moksha.
after doing all the karma, they're asking for moksha at the last.
So that's my question is why at the end of their life they seek moksha? I
It,
mean they don't want to return to the same
but that's too late, if you ask
life
me.
yet.
It's
Why do they do this? What is the reason behind this?
Yeah. If you ask me, it's too late. Hmm?
What is the intent behind this?
The intent is they hope that their soul will go to the light. But no, that's why you see the souls are still permeating in our, um, because they want to take on another form in our life, within our own life, and disturb our surrounding. But at the same time, they are not at peace. Even though we do all the, in Tamil we call it karmadi and the 16 day, the 30 days and all that. Even though we do that, if the soul did not finish its karma, even you ask forgiveness at the end of that journey, he or she has not finished his or her karma. So therefore they come back. They will be sent back, and because at the gate, You know, if you visit Kashi, you know, if you visited Kashi, then there is that place Manikarna. I think it's Manikarna Ghat or something. The name. I'm sorry if I'm mentioning it incorrectly. The name. Yeah, that place at the time when the soul is burning, Shiva will be there and waiting to receive. We know the story of Shiva, right? He's also always in the cremation. Shakti is also at the cremation. Everything, you know, they're both one energy to me. So they're waiting there to receive. People think that by doing forgiveness, they be forgiven, but it's very late. If you know, divine is calculating all your. They have a book. huh? They have a book saying that okay, Gaurav, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have not done. Yashoda, you have not done all this, and then come back, finish your circle and come back. You know, so I and we don't have to wait the last minute. Also, we have to step by step finish all of this before we finish our lifetime. And I, like I said, I we don't need to take a rebirth. We take rebirth because we want to come in for a mission. We said okay, before we come in, we say this is why we are coming in. Why we are coming in? Because there is, currently it's Kali Yuga. We need to transition everyone into the Dharma, which is Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga means everybody should be Dharma, but do you think everyone is in the Dharmic lifestyle? No. Nobody is in the Dharmic lifestyle. Everybody is in a karmic situation. Only when you cleanse that karmic, then you move or transition into this. And it's not a new planet, like I have discussed this in different podcasts. It's not a new planet. In this current lifetime, we are just transitioning our lifestyle, our soul into the Satya Yuga. And it means that I will not speak anything that will curse anyone. I will not curse anyone. Even if I curse, then I have to make sure that I ask for forgiveness immediately. Because those curses actually hits the individual or hits or affects the family. Why should we carry that karma? We should not. Even if somebody curse you, we can just say, okay, forgive them. That is the highest level of dharma you can become. That you will be, practicing, and it has to be practiced every single day. We None of us have every any time, right? All of us are too busy doing so many things in a day to day. Today's world has become too busy that nobody has time to even think in this depth. So you have
So
to.
I'm drawing from this conversation as a conclusion for everyone with little less IQ like me, that the two best way to transform your soul, and two easiest way to soul transform your souls. And also this is for those who cannot come to our retreat programs. You know, the two easiest way to transform your soul, as per Yash Jegathesan advice, is first one is to keep keep praying the gratitude every day.
Yes,
The more gratitude you pay to your ancestors, to your lineage, that's the easiest way. And the second one is to keep forgiving, full forgiving everyone.
yes,
The forgiveness is another tool that you can use both of them as a simplest, most easy way to
yes,
start your journey towards soul transformation. That I can say. This is the first step.
yes, yes.
Do
And
you have any finishing conclusion remarks on this?
yes, yes, and don't curse anyone. Don't,
Don't curse anyone.
yeah,
Don't curse
don't
anyone.
release any negative words out of your mouth. That
That's a good
negative
one.
word that you release not only affect that family but also affect your generation, your own family, your own health, your own individual soul as well. So don't release any curses.
So
That,
paying gratitude, forgiving people, and not releasing the curses to others
yes,
are the three easiest way. Three takeaway from this podcast for
yes,
all of our viewers, those who, especially those who cannot come to our long programs like retreat programs or
yes.
online programs, one-on-one programs. Thank you very much, Yash, for this wonderful podcast, wonderful revealings of Lord Shiva to you. We feel really honored to have such deep discussions with you and learn so much from you on the, our spiritual journey. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers also, regardless if they want to engage with our programs or not, regardless of that,
Yes.
if they can draw something from these podcasts, the job is done. The job is well done actually.
Yes.
So thank you very much for your time again today, and I'll hope to catch you again on the topic that we discovered on this podcast. Importance of women dating in next
Yes.
podcast,
Very much.
because that's a a very important topic that we should all know, whether regardless of the religion that we follow, why women deities are given the more importance. It has to be a more scientific and historical perspective, generationally historical perspective to this that we want to learn. So we'll come to that on next podcast. Thank you very much for your time today, Yash.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Nandri, vanakkam.
Nadri, Baba Nadri.